Alex, are you done with all your homework?
Yeah, I finished it all. Oh wait, I still have to do my science video.
Hi, I'm Alex Gusho, and this is my 7th grade video project. First, I'm going to be starting off with Newton's first law. An object at rest remains at rest, and an object in motion remains in motion in a straight line at a constant speed unless acted on by an unbalanced force. I'm going to demonstrate this by hitting a golf ball. First, the golf ball rests on the tee. The club is swung, striking the ball and putting it in motion. As you can see, the golf ball rests on the tee until I hit it with the club, putting it into motion. Now I'm going to talk about balanced forces and force. Balanced forces. Equal forces acting on an object in opposite directions. Force. A push or pull exerted on an object. Now let's watch the video. As you saw in the video, gravity held the ball on the tee, and the tee held the ball off the ground. When I hit the ball, it was pushed forward. This demonstrates balanced forces and force. Now I'm going to talk about projectile motion, gravity, and friction. Projectile motion is the curved path an object follows when thrown or propelled near the surface of the earth, as you will see in the next video when the ball hits the ground and comes to a stop. As you saw in the video, the golf ball was hit across the yard, dropping it to the ground because gravity caused it to accelerate downward. Friction was produced by the ball coming in contact with the grass, stopping its momentum. That's my example of projectile motion and friction. In these next two videos, I'm going to demonstrate air resistance. Air resistance is one of the things that slows down acceleration. As you saw in the first video, the ball just rolled right by because there wasn't much air resistance. But in the second video, with the fan, there was more air resistance, so it stopped and rolled back. This is an example of air resistance. In the next two videos, I am going to show examples of Newton's second law of motion. The acceleration of an object depends on the mass of the object and the amount of force applied. As you saw in the first video, the wagon was easy to pull because there wasn't much weight on it. But when 80 pounds was added to it, it was much harder to pull. This is an example of Newton's second law. Now I'm going to talk about free fall and gravity. Free fall is the motion of falling objects when the only force acting on it is gravity. Gravity is the force that pulls objects to each other. As you saw in the video, the apple and watermelon were both dropped at the same time and both hit the ground at the same time. This is because gravity has an equal force on all objects. Now I'm going to talk about Newton's third law of motion. When one object exerts a force on the second object exerts an equal and opposite force. When the apple and watermelon hit the ground exerted an equal and opposite force on the apple and watermelon, causing them to get crushed. These next few videos are going to be about matter. Physical change. A change that affects the physical properties of an object. Most are easy to undo. Chemical change. A change that occurs when one or more substances are changed into an entirely new substance with different properties. This change cannot be undone. This first video is going to be an example of a physical change. As you saw in the video, the twig was broken into two twigs. Although it cannot be undone, the twigs still have the same identity. Therefore, it is a physical change. This next video is going to show an example of a chemical change. As you saw in the video, the napkin was lit on fire, turning it into ash. The ash no longer has the same properties as the napkin, and the change cannot be undone. Therefore, it is a chemical change. This next video is going to be about changes of state. Changes of state is a conversion of a substance from one physical form to another. As you saw in the video, the water was frozen and in a solid state. When thermal energy was added, it changed from a solid to a liquid. This next video is about the states of matter. The four states of matter are solid, liquid, gas, and plasma. In a solid, the particles vibrate in place, while in a liquid, they slide past each other. As you saw in the videos, the liquid took the shape of its container, while the solid stayed the same. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it.